State must have seen.
Oh my God, everyone! Guess what, Victoria?
What?
I do not have a hat on today either.
No,
Look
you
at
don't.
that.
We've been running around like crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah. Hello, you guys.
Miracle of miracles.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Feel It Real Fun.
Oh my God. You cannot
Your
believe-
manifesting questions answered live.
That's right. Today on your Manifesting Questions Live, we will be doing Feel It Real Fun.
29th of January 2021.
That's right. Guess what, guys?
What?
In 2 days, we open up the door to Triple D, right?
Yes.
Almost all the seats are gone already.
Yes.
How much fun is this? If you want in, let me know.
Yes. Cool.
And no tired kickers. No tired kickers. So, Victoria.
Yes.
Oh my God, what a day it's going to be.
So, go to freeneville.com.
Freeneville.com, everyone, 221, email list, pseudo, random, all of that.
goodness.
Bruce, Brian, yo.
Join our 90-day adventure at manifestingmasterycourse.com.
That's right, like $97, 90 days, half a donut, 15 to 25 minutes, end of line, you're worth it.
And for refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
That's right.
Okay.
So, Victoria,
Yes.
shall we dive in?
We shall. All right. So our first question is from Brian, and we've titled it, or 20 titles them, Wishy Washy.
All right.
Brian asks, I've been wishy washy for so long. I know this stuff works for everyone. Sorry, I've got to hold it at it. Yeah. But the truly amazing experiences seem to be for those who know their God, having an adventure. I seem to go back and forth on this, thinking one day I can accept it, but the next feeling it betrays Jesus. Have I read that right?
Yep.
Got any suggestions?
Absolutely. So let's try this on. Let's just start dropping words, because here's what I noticed. As I was waking up, I had to let my concept of self die and my concept of God die, right? And I got to discover some things, which is really, really cool. So the more you play, the more you'll find those two concepts die, which is good fun. But what's really cool is you get to approach this from another direction. You can basically just explore, noticing that you're more than you think. You're more than your physical body. And just explore that. So, yeah, I think that's the big thing, because I suspect probably 80-90% of the people that get involved with this have some sort of religious background. And so you bump into it, right? It's sort of like a lot of people that I know that are trying to double their income, work half the time, experience financial freedom. They so strongly have time and dollars married. Even if they don't want to be an entrepreneur, at some point you have to divorce what needs divorced. Time, dollars, they're two separate things entirely. So, and the arguments are funny. So, when it's all said and done, when you really, really get this whole thing of like, when you start just letting things that need to be separate, when you God, it just gets cool. So no longer do we have to win the lottery to have free time. No longer do we have to work hard to make money. Let some old concepts die. Let some things that need divorced get to be divorced, and you get to fall in love with you.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
Victoria.
Excellent.
Triple D alone is here too.
Oh,
Triple
hello,
D
Triple
Ashley.
D alone.
Look at
Hello,
that.
Triple D
Boom.
Ashley. Excellent. Thank you, Brian, for your question.
And it's the miracle of miracles. Go ahead, Victoria. I'm just all... I
I'm
love
waiting
that
for
song.
the dramatic pause.
Click.
The next question's from Christian. How long does it take to... ... Christian asks, how long on average does it take you to get in your desired states? Does it happen right away? I'm going about creating my states with the idea that it takes a certain amount of time to consistently dwell in my desired states. Could it just be this belief that makes it take longer than it has to be? What do you think?
I love all the crazy bat shit out there, right? Yes. Because here's the thing. Neville says you are imagining morning, noon, and night to watch this show. Everyone that is watching this show live, refunds, sharing the show, thank you. right? You have to imagine something first. Oh, it's those two, right? You have to imagine enjoying it, imagine arguing against me. Yasmin Maxwell is watching this show. You have to imagine something. See, Yasmin Maxwell just had a successful imaginal act. Oh, she could have seen that. She could have seen the notification and imagined something different, right? Right? Like Emmett. But here's the cool thing. So my guess is 99.99% of your wins are imaginal acts that are so fast, faster than Victoria's Yum experience. And what's happening is there's this whole thing of miracle of miracles. This whole thing of I have to trade time for money. I have to trade time for results. Right? Abraham. I just read an Abraham quote somebody shared. Abraham, yes. And it was something like an imaginal act sustained for 20 minutes is more effective than 4 hours of hard work, or something crazy like that. It's like, all right, first of all, I know of almost no human that is capable of 4 hours of hard work. Right? They're all fucking lazy. Number two, right?
Yes.
A 20 minutes sustaining a 20-minute imaginal act. Jesus Christ. Most people can't have sex for 20 minutes without running baseball stats in their heads. Right? Just to be blunt, right? Or thinking about the cute thing next door. Oh, look at that, a puppy, right? Anyway, people don't have the attention span, right? And so this whole thing, and again, notice how it fits in with the first, miscellaneous seeming rambling. Divorce time from money, divorce time from payday, right? I'm feeling it real for 20 minutes so I can have a payday, right?
Yeah.
So that's the nature of the question, right? Like I said, most of your imaginings are happening so fast, right? To send me your email, to read it, disagree, or want another answer because answer the question, that all takes an imaginal act. So go play and just notice how fast you are having wins all day long. And for fun, feelitrealfun.com. Check out the Ignition playlist. So, end of line. Ooh.
Sweet.
Boom.
Okay.
Abraham.
So that was for Christian. Thank you for your question.
Abraham.
There's something in my eye.
Abraham.
I know.
Abrahams. Anyway.
Excellent.
Because they are supposed to be a collective unity of multiverse beings and multiple parallel universes that are
The
channeled through.
Abrahams.
Yeah, it's like more than one being apparently. So it's like, well, why the fuck are we calling them Abraham? Right, Abraham. Right? Let's just be honest. I mean, like truth in advertising, pal. End of line.
Right.
It's one of them days.
The next question's from Omar. Should I stop watching movies? Omar asks, hi, Mr. 20.
Yo.
I notice sometimes I get knocked out of my state by watching movies. Would Neville say to stop watching movies altogether for someone who has an impressionable mind? Same goes for music. Blessings.
Cool. So Neville says your state will always be contaminated, right? I love this because the state that you most commonly return to is your dwelling place. So it's not about I have my state and I must protect it, and so I'll hide it away from movies because I'm impressionable, right?
Yeah.
That's just imagining that you're small and movies are big, right? So on the other hand, Neville read the newspaper. Everybody write that down.
Hashtag Neville read the newspaper.
Yeah, something like that, right? This is really good because when you get Neville didn't hide from the news, right? Now, me, I will look on Apple News once in a while. I have fallen in love with Apple News during the year of the loogie because I look at it and I go, fuck, people are hooked on this shit. I'm fascinated with headlines. I'm fascinated with people writing things that, like, would you believe it was news the other day in the Apple News that multiple variants of COVID-19 are causing problems for people who are, it's like, really? That's news? Right? Have you, fascinating to me, right? Now here's the thing. If you are imagining, you see, I don't look at the news to know when to invest, when not to invest, what to do, what are the hot markets. I imagine success, so I'm successful. Got it? Now there are people that will, like, well, here's my question. Why are you watching the movies you're watching? If you find they disturb you, stop imagining what has you watching them, right? That's the big thing, right? We watch television, right? Yo, Jamaica, boom.
But we watch television. We imagine that it's enjoyable for
right.
us. So it always is. And
yeah, and if
if
we
there's
find
something that's not enjoyable, we just, well, what else can we watch?
Yeah, what else can we watch, right?
Yeah.
So we don't hide from the television or the news or the radio.
Yeah.
But I noticed, I can't remember the last time I had talk radio on.
No, but he said music, and we often listen to music
Oh,
on
yeah, but I'm just saying.
YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, what do you, you're listening to something because of something you imagined. So if you find music is bumping you out, it ain't the
Right.
music. It's what you're imagining about the music. It's why are you listening to that music if it bumps you out? I mean, you just, you get to discover that you're bigger than the music. And you get to discover that you're bigger than all that. Oh, Laban said something. I loved him and something about tripling his income. Laban, cool. Can't wait to read that because it went fast. So, but more to come. But the short answer is don't hide from music. Don't hide from television because all the time it's the miracle of miracles is stuck in Victoria's head because I sang it more than once today. So you can't hide from it. The music's in you.
Yeah.
Boom. Okay, shall we continue with the next question?
So that was for Omar. Thanks for your question.
Miracle of miracles.
The next question is from Dream Driven Day. Tommy, I remember when and nostalgia. Because we did a bit of nostalgia last week. Or this week on the show.
Yes.
Tommy asks, the feeling of nostalgia. You spoke about this 20 yesterday, and I know that fits in with I remember when, feeling the event in the past. So how do you access that feeling of nostalgia and use it with I remember when? I know that's most important part of using that tool.
You know, so remember, it's always about feelings, right? Feelings. There are some things you just want to feel in the past, like when Mabel exploded when I was working in the nursing home. Again, feeling that event in the past while it was happening was a gift to both of us. It wasn't demeaning to either. I love the lady that keeps saying that every time you mention that, that's demeaning to old people. And you're imagining that, right? I'm not your trigger, right? I'm the bang. I'm the boom in the room. You're your own trigger. So here's the fun thing. Nostalgia. If you want to experience nostalgia, just explore it. Remember, memory is imagination. You've experienced nostalgia before. Like I remember when, literally, right? So I do remember when I went to my last class reunion, right? Oh my God, it was great. Jerry says we look 10 years younger, 10 years younger. Yeah, you typed it, pal. Miracle of miracles, right? Yeah. So this whole thing of like, there's some things you want to feel in the past and let them die there, right? Denise kicking me in the nards. I mean, like,
there's no nostalgia there.
I look back at Denise kicking me in the nards.
With nostalgia?
Fondly,
nah.
Right? Fondly.
Yeah.
So the big thing is just notice, without getting all heady, like what kind of memory are you experiencing? If you got something like, if you want to remember when you made what your current income is, right? I mean, fuck, I can remember when 20 grand was a stretch. I'm like, ooh, right? Like, but back then it was like, oh, man. So we'll continue to answer your question as the show continues.
Cool.
Yes.
Excellent.
Miracle.
Okay.
I seem to remember when Tommy asked questions on the show. What's he mean by that?
I don't know.
I remember when my answers made sense.
Yes, I remember that. Cool, excellent. So
Yasmin Maxwell says, "Fucking internet video keeps stalling. You must be on Telstra."
You've got the cans, the tin cans. That's
tin
the
cans.
problem. So that was from Dream Driven Day. Tommy, thank you very much for your question.
And we'll continue with it in just a moment.
And the next question's from Tommy in Dream Driven Day.
Whoa.
Knowing versus assumption.
We're just clicking something. Love you. Love you.
Yeah, it's a good book. Sorry. Knowing versus assumption. So Tommy asks, is assumption and knowing the same thing? Just how you say you became black belt before you became one. Did you know, 20? I've been exploring this with the feeling, knowing, like having that knowing that I have what I want or my desire is done. I notice when you know something, it's like a silent feeling. I can't really describe it. Is that all you need to give life to your desires? Just to know it's done and move along, have that feeling of knowing?
Knowing it is done. I know Neville used that phrase. I know I am that. Again, this is my thing. Really big on identity-based manifesting, so on and so forth. I am that. It is done. I'm going to be honest. I feel almost nothing there.
Assumption, he said.
Yeah, well, that was a phrase that was mentioned in there.
All right,
so I'm just mentioning that because me personally, yeah, pretty much everything for me boils down to an identity-based manifesting. So when I didn't know it was done, I know I am. Yeah, I'm a, and it wasn't like I told someone I was a black belt or I walked around puffed up like I was or something like that. But literally, like, I am a black belt, and so it was seen even when I was a yellow belt. He's going to be a black belt, right? Right? Yeah, just always. And sort of like my friend Tina, who I became a black belt when I was 17, 18. So when I was in high school, apparently I carried myself in a way that one of my classmates, Tina, reached out to me a couple years ago and said, I always knew you'd go far. I always knew you'd do something. And, fuck, I don't know why, but yeah, apparently, but I do know why, right? Because of what I was still imagining at the time back then about myself, right? I mean, fuck, I was on welfare. I used to work for the Summer Youth Employment Program. I'd work for 3 months so I could buy 9 months worth of cool clothes, right? Like really cool striped undies and stuff.
Nice.
Oh, my. So I wore them to school one day. They were like white undies with there were a 3-pack. One was red stripes, one was blue stripes, one was green stripes. And I was wearing them to school, and I was wearing my light-colored slacks because it was a Catholic school. So I'm wearing my light-colored slacks, my Izod shirt, my tie.
We haven't called slacks in ages.
and
pants.
And I'm walking down the hall, and one of the girls comes up to me and says, "Red stripes."
What was that?
Fuck.
It sounds slacks. It sounds like
slacks.
What was the name of that computer program we both with that guy?
Oh, Windows. Yeah, like Windows is real slacks.
Not Windows. What was the name of that? There was that one guy. Back in the 80s, I think, or something.
Oh, Leisure Suit Larry.
Leisure Suit Larry.
Yeah.
Leisure Suit. You got the slacks on.
Yeah, absolutely. That was me in high school, man. So, striped undies. You got it, Tony Doyle. Boom. Right.
I love how Tony puts everything in with a hashtag now. Striped undies.
By the way, I'm a little behind, so I'll be getting to you.
Up.
So, boom. Just letting you know. I got the goodies, but just... overwhelmed.
Cool.
So, did we answer the question? What was the question?
Is assumption the same as knowing?
Yeah, for me, the knowing I am that. There's that thing. By the way, Victoria's Yum, right? It is done is not my experience of that. My experience of, like I am that husband who's happy that she's yumming the meal.
Yumming.
So.
Yum! Sounds like humming. Cool, excellent.
Sounds like home.
Sweet. So that was for Tommy. Thank you, Tommy.
And we'll continue to answer that in just a moment.
Will we?
We all of them are continuing.
Yeah, so where's the sneaky snake? From yesterday?
I'm sneaking things in.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I'm sneaking things in. Master plan.
The next question's from Shinta, cheating spouses. Shinta asks, what's your thoughts on cheating? Should people that cheat consider like a polyamorous lifestyle or open relationships? And for the other person that got cheated on, what could they do?
Cool. So remember, so there's always one cause. And boy, I love when... I'm glad you put this in the thing, because if this would have gone up in a post, the batshit crazy that would show up would just keep the Mod Squad busy for hours.
There'd be hundreds of comments, yeah.
So the thing is, so I'm going to go back to, what do you want? What's your desire? Like literally, like there are some people that hate capitalists. I love capitalism. See, for me, capitalism is biological. If I do push-ups, my arms get bigger, right? If I eat donuts, my gut gets bigger. Now the thing is, I don't go, right. Right? Yeah, Victoria's doing push-ups. Why aren't my arms getting bigger? Right? You know, your capitalism is you're that. Right?
Yeah, right.
So I mean, so there's this whole thing of like, what do you want? I mean, if you want a polyamorous open thing, cool. Imagine that, all that good stuff. If you want a loyal relationship, quote unquote, or if you want one-on-one, one-on-one, fun and done. Right? Cool. You imagine what implies that, because like for the people that don't want to be capitalists, God bless y'all. Like go out there and do the socialist communist thing. Like I give a shit, right? I love it because they tell us we've got socialist medicine here in Australia, right? Everybody pays in what you can afford. Everybody gets what they need, except for me, because I don't buy into allopathic medicine, right? So it's like, well, if I'm paying in, shouldn't you give me like what I want? Right? Not what you say that I'm allowed to have.
Yeah,
right?
that will subsidise.
Yeah, because my philosophy is allopathic. My philosophy is totally allopathic. So since I'm not going to withdraw from that system, but I'm putting money in, therefore I call it fascist medicine. So in Australia, we have fascist medicine. We take your money, then we tell you what you're allowed to do. So it's like, right. But for some people it works. My buddy, whose geometric name we shall not say, loves fascist medicine.
Well, no one would know him by that name except for us anyway.
Well,
it's
anyway.
a box.
Box. Right? We'll call him Box.
Yes.
So, but this is what's fun, because if you get people that want to do one thing, capitalism, polyamorism, communism, whatever, cool. Yeah, I imagine anyone that wants to be a communist having fun, right? Like you go do your, whatever.
Yeah.
So, and one more little quick thought on the whole thing is, if something has happened to you and you want to get beyond it, realize there are no victims, right? If something shows up in your life, you set it in motion.
Yeah.
If you don't want it in your life, you set something else in motion, right? Okay, boom.
Okay, boom.
So we'll continue to answer this one in just a moment.
Okay, excellent. So that was for Shinta, and I saw her having a little laugh at your early on comments, so she's here today. Thanks for your question.
Master plan. I really shouldn't do that whenever she's trying to do the dramatic pauses.
I know. You might wonder why I need the dramatic pauses. It's because I do the one long show.
See, this is what I'll do.
And then I cut out the shorts. So each little question goes up separately as well, and it's just really hard if... Right.
Whiskey.
Okay. The next question's from Dream Driven Day Sizzle. Neville Goddard and the Dead Bury the Dead.
Boom.
Sizzle asks, will you share more about Let the Dead Bury the Dead in this Neville quote from the first principle lecture? And the quote is, do not ask yourself how this thing is going to be. It does not matter if your reason denies it. It does not matter if all the world around about you denies it. You do not have to bury the old. Let the dead bury the dead. You will so bury the past. You will so bury the past by remaining faithful to your new concept of self.
I love that it starts here. I'm going to pull that quote apart.
Yeah, I love, because we did this in the club the year before last, or something. I think it was in the club. I love it.
So ready? Tommy, this is for you too. Do not ask yourself how this thing is going to be. Okay, so this would be, it's already done. You got it? Out there someplace. Do not ask you how this thing is going to be. It does not matter if your reason, so on and so forth. But let's notice how it ends. You will bury the past by remaining faithful to your new concept of self. You get it? That's what's cool. So it's when I owned a shit car, and then I ignored said shit car,
Yes.
and then moved into the state of BMW owner. All right, everything changed because the identity changed. I was a shit car owner, so I owned a shit car.
Yeah.
Right? But once I moved in BMW owner, oh my God. Right? And that's what's cool. Letting the dead bury the dead. Besides the content of this, notice it starts out with activity thing on the outside, moving to concept of self. Right? Concept of you is always alive. Okay? The dead stuff that follows, the dead stuff that follows. So I have no interest in the hows, right? And here's a little tricky part, ready? I love business. I'm like this weird-ass combination of Victor and Neville Goddard, right? Neville loved teaching. I love teaching. Victor loved business. I love business. Neville was a businessman, but the true genius in the family, from what I can tell, was Victor when it came to business.
Victor loved the smell of business.
He loved the smell of it,
that.
right?
Yeah.
And it's so true.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Being a successful businessman, right, all these ideas show up all the time. 4 courses, 4 systems, 4 strategies, and the inspiration to do things like the show, right? Yeah, that's constantly going on because the dead buried the dead. The old me that traded time for money, dead, right? The old me that tried to figure out how to make it happen, yeah. I get into state and I discover, oh my God, here's a cool strategy. Yeah, here's a thing to develop. So, boom. So, listen to this one a couple times.
It's good.
Frank.
It's like how you said I think you said it in so many words.
Either way, you heard it.
The state of BMW owner naturally killed, died, made dead the state of shit car owner.
Yeah,
So
and got rid of the shit car.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Move everything.
So because you were no longer occupying, a shit car, because you no longer occupied state of shit car
owner. Yep.
It died.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Boom.
Cool.
And that
Excellent.
Was Emmett.
That was Emmett. All right, so that was for our Sizzle. Thank you very much, Sizzle, for your question.
Master plan.
Okay, so now I will pronounce the name correctly. The next question is from Caitlin in Dream Doing Day.
Catalan.
It's Catalan, that's what I said. But Caitlin, I think. Impossible wins? Question mark. Caitlin asks, what are your thoughts on desires that are seemingly impossible? Like, just to give a silly example, someone wanting to physically be able to fly. At what point does this just become delusional when it's better to be realistic? If it's some... Oh, sorry.
Let's stop there.
Okay.
And we'll continue on in just a moment.
All right.
Right.
Okay.
So, Olive says Caitlin. Sizzle says Caitlin.
Yeah, so it's spelt like what Scott wrote. So I used to say Catalan, just because I liked it. But I think it's actually Caitlin.
Boom.
But we'll see.
All right. So, I'm really curious about a lot of things. Like, I've done some really weird shit, like jumped chasms. Like, when I was younger, running through the woods, I remember coming up to the edge of this chasm, and I'm talking chasm, right?
Yeah.
And I've always been a big guy, even when I was a thin big guy. And all of a sudden, I've got to leap like 25 feet or so. Right? Not possible, but done, right? So, it really seems like it's possible to do the impossible, like suspend gravity when needed. By the way, I didn't stop into a 25-minute session. I'm running through the fucking woods, and all of a sudden there's no woods, right?
Yeah.
So, boing, off we go, right? But I used to watch the Hardy Boys, not the ones on TV, but the 2 black ones in Pittsburgh, right? So the Hardy brothers, there actually were 3, but the third one was younger. But the 2 Hardy Boys, what they would do at the karate tournaments, they'd be doing splits between chairs and doing all like, being all like,
it's amazing how
too
they do
sexy,
that.
right? That was me. But the Hardy Boys, their way to intimidate people and warm up before the matches, they would jump and they would, they were like 5'7", 5'8", and they would run and they would jump and they would sort of like levitate for a second, and then they would kick the hoop on the basketball thing, and then they would come down. And I swear to God, right, they levitated, right? Michael Jordan, not Michael Jackson. Do not confuse the two, right? Michael Jordan, watch him play the hoop thing, right? I'm not a fan of hoops, right? I went to a Catholic school and we had played basketball there, and not a fan of it. But I've watched Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan will run and, just sort of hang up there for a while, drink a, burger, eat a beer, and all of a sudden, like, poof, right, and down he comes.
Yeah.
Fascinating to me, right? So I would leap chasms in a single bound, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be here. And I had this thing of imagining being old, All right, so like dying when you're young is sort of incongruent, and I'm not a fan of this whole thing of, well, one of you died at the chasm, one of you leapt over the chasm, and it's like, well, isn't it funny that, that just gets weird. So with all of this already set in mind, okay, you can do some really weird shit with this. Olive A says Michael Jordan was a beast. Yeah, totally, right? Leanne, lighter than air, right?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. So it appears that you can suspend some things for at least some time. But see, that was so damn clever. Almost no one's going to catch that. Suspend some things for at least some time. You clubbers, pay close attention. Right? So I'm always saying more than one thing at once, often. So, but continue, and then we're going to go back to the other level of the question.
So Caitlin keeps going. If it's something that absolutely is possible, but a person has difficulty accepting that it is there ever a point when it's better to try just accepting the cards you've been dealt and chill about it than trying to convince yourself it's possible or trying to force a state that you just can't feel is real?
Cool. Not a fan of force, not a fan of giving up, ever. So Neville says your desires are divine in origin. He also says when you feel a desire, that's the time to move it into its assumption. And notice again how this weaves into some of the earlier ones with divorcing time from dollars, time from results. Fascinating. And here's the cool thing. My guess is you're probably imagining the wrong where in time. Because it's always easy to go through, like we did the show yesterday and the podcast all on my master state. Falling asleep, satisfied while looking forward to tomorrow. Right? If you've got a wish that you can't quite nail, right? If you actually did nail it, it was already natural in your life, wouldn't you fall to bed tonight like satisfied while looking forward to tomorrow? Right? See, when I had my shit car, right, I didn't go to bed satisfied.
And you didn't look forward
and I didn't look forward to tomorrow. It's like, tomorrow I got to go to the dog park. Fuck.
I wonder what time
what time I'll get home, right? We don't schedule anything in the morning, right?
Yeah.
So play with a big chunk like that, right? At the end of the day, falling asleep with that feeling of satisfied with your day while looking forward to tomorrow. And let that feed this whole thing of like, whatever you've been feeling is impossible. If it was already natural in your life, you would be feeling satisfied with your day while looking forward to tomorrow. So, that's rod play. And also one more. What's the real wish?
I was going to say that because really, the Jimmy Fuller story, Neville, do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like the guy that wanted to change the colour of his skin, the pigment of his skin.
Now, I know someone's going to write to us and say, well, you can do it chemically. Sure. Right? No big deal, right? But anyway, what's the real lesson here, Victoria?
Oh, the real lesson is Neville asking him, I think, what is your real desire? Is it to change the colour of your skin, which it's not, or it's the reaction of he was imagining the colour of his skin
was hindering
him in his life, and that's really, and the story goes on, but I don't remember what the next bit was. Do you?
He built a very successful business.
Yeah.
Cool. Because he quit blaming the color of his skin. Now, it's really cool. So I actually got a guy that was writing me about a year ago. And he was saying, well, Mr. 20, if this really worked, I could fly. I says, cool. Do you want to fly? He goes, yeah. I said, cool. Right. Well, let me ask you a question, Bob. Right?
Bob.
Universal fake name. Right? Bob. Like, why do you want to fly? And Bob says, well, that way the chicks will dig me. And I said, have you ever seen, I bet you, out of 8 billion people on the planet, there's at least one that the chicks dig that don't have to fly. Right? Right? Now, Frank can fly. Now, oddly enough, Frank's here commenting about what's the real wish, right? Frank wanted to be a pilot, right? And he just didn't want to be. He became one, right? Because Frank took manifestingmasterycourse.com. But he applied it, right? Now here's Frank actually flying planes now. Wow. How cool is this, right?
Yeah.
So, by the way, Frank, we have a future pilot now over here.
Oh, we do. 15-year-old boy.
So this is really, really cool
Yeah.
because now we're going to have two people that can fly us around the world that I trust. Right?
Yeah.
Some manifesting pilots that I can trust. But Bob wanted to fly to impress the chicks. And I said, Bob, I'm sure you can find at least one person on the planet that the chicks are impressed with that doesn't... Right? So just imagine chicks dig you. The state of Sean from Dream Driven Day.
Exactly. Yeah.
So chicks digged him.
Yeah.
I did. Boom.
Cool. Okay. So that was for Caitlin. Thank you very much for your question.
Boom. And if we need, if you you can. All right. Tony Doyle can fly hang gliders. Wow.
Oh.
I can fly the little balsa wood things, but Victoria used to fly.
Paragliders. They're
Yeah.
probably, you probably think we're dicks.
Yeah,
Because they're collapsible wings, unlike the hang gliders. Anyway, it was good fun while I did it.
She puts a machine on her.
No, I didn't put a machine. They're the paramotors.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I was a paraglider.
That's right. No machine for you. That's right. You had to run off the cliff.
Yeah, just run.
Nutcase.
And commit.
Right. See, now it's funny, right? So I talk about jumping over chasms, and she runs off of cliffs. It's a match made in heaven. That Victorina and me.
Cool. And the last question's from Sharon via email. It's called Subtle Shifts. And there's actually two parts. Do you want me to do one at a time?
Yes.
Okay, so one, Sharon asks, I'd like to be happily married with kids. Neville talks about the action of the wedding ring. I've tried it and it's not feeling really real. Any other scene suggestions?
Cool. So the first wish is I'd like to be happily married with kids.
Yes.
Like, I tend to notice, like, in society, legally, you can be happily married with another adult. Right? So, yeah.
Oh, married with kids.
Yeah, so that's a scope ambiguity for the clubbers.
Yeah.
Right? I love these, by the way. So, so about being happily married, here's the big key. Always remember it's action is self-predominant. And so if you're trying to add in something like the ring and that ain't working for you, I'm going to suggest exploring the power of lack. Right? I love lack. Right? I really do. Some people say, you can't manifest with lacks and never feel a lack of anything. Say, wow, cool. Well, I lack having to mentally argue with a boss all the time. You see, some people, they say, keep positive about everything, right? You'll get married before you're 90, that kind of thing. Yeah, and stay positive, right? And it's like, right, so I'm imagining being positive with my boss. You know, I can't tell you how many times we had take your gun to work day.
And this is like where it doesn't feel real.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yes.
So what I lack is a boss to have inner conversations with, which are weird, right? What would you lack if you were happily married? And this is really important because with the power of lack, it's like, I notice a lot of people who are single, who want to be married, they're already regretting next Christmas, right? It's like, fuck.
Yeah, got ya.
Yeah, Christmas
Going
is coming.
to family without someone again.
Yeah,
Mum's going to ask the same questions.
Oh, yeah. Are you dating anyone? Did you find one yet?
Got ya. That's a goodie.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's where I would play. Just notice, what would you lack if you were happily married with kids? I tell you what you'd lack, right? Sanity, right?
Yes.
Yasmin Maxwell, from what I can tell, Yasmin Maxwell used to have long, straight hair, right? now it's blue, and she's got a bottle of vodka, right? So what would you lack if you were happily married with kids? Sleep, alone time, ability to read a book, right?
Yeah.
So, what would you lack?
It's
That's
an
where
excellent
I'd play,
one, that
right?
one. What would you lack?
Boom.
Yeah.
What would you like if you were married?
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Love you, Layden.
Cool.
So let's continue.
And the second question from Sharon is, I've been dwelling on death and mourning. It felt like it sucked the life out of me. I'd like to truly love life. How do I get this attitude?
You know, it's interesting with grief. I notice grief tends to be like a couple of ways people process grief. Clubbers, pay attention with the time thing here. So it's like, oh, we're going to go through Dad's things. There's his book.
Mm-hmm.
There's his pencil. There's his socks. Still on the floor.
Laugh.
Okay. And I do this intentionally because it's almost like sort of like being way above and out of it all. Mm-hmm. All right. And then what tends to happen is a crash.
Yeah, right.
Sort of like stuck. Yep. Here I am all alone. Like it's in a dark cave.
Yeah, right.
Don't see any future. They're gone. And then there's this oscillation back up to, oh, look, there's some more of his stuff for me to go through. And at some point, instead of having this like going through, remembering all this stuff, even if it's not going through the physical stuff, going through the mental stuff, or just stuck there like plop in a way that doesn't work, you get to go out and you get to take these little steps in the world. Give life to little bits of lovely here and there. And the little bits of lovely can be something like a yummy meal, Victoria's Yum. I bought this kit yesterday. I'm a fan of kits. We got a cement mixer kit years ago. What other kits have we bought? We've bought
the kits.
Yeah, we've bought and gotten all kinds of kits.
Concrete mixer
kit.
Yes.
So we got that. But I bought a curry laksa kit.
Oh, you did yesterday.
I just thought, oh my God, this would be good fun, right?
Yeah, we've got to work out what we want to have with it.
Yeah, shrimp.
Oh, that's right.
Prawns and chicken.
You're saying that,
got it all worked out, right? But it's these little tiny things, right? It's that curiosity of life, going out, touching, being touched. Take a walk, be the blessing, pet a dog, right? Imagine when you see a cranky little fucking dog, imagine a cranky little fucking dog happy, right? Just for fun. Somebody has to. Somebody gets to. And it's those little tiny mousy steps where you're just doing that make a massive difference right there. So that's going to be my suggestion. Just get out. Have little micro adventures. Give life to lovelies, and so on. So, boom.
Cool.
All right.
Excellent. So that was from Sharon. Thank you very much
Thanks,
for your
Sharon.
questions.
I appreciate you drilling that down for me, because that was a cranky little fucking dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know him, don't you, Slam?
She does.
Yeah, intimately. That's right.
All right. So that was all our questions for today.
Oh my God, these
What
dogs.
we want to know now is, what was your strawberry bit?
Yes, Victoria was my strawberry bit.
What was your strawberry bit?
You?
No, really. Well, with the questions in mind.
For me, it really is. So I'll answer it a little bit differently today. It's the exploration, because it was really, the show's a whole total lie, right? Ready? This is not your questions answered. This is you explored. You explored live. I mean, that just sounds like a gynecological thing, right? Right? But really, what are we really doing here? We're exploring you and possibility live. So, my strawberry bit, all the questions, the people that show up, the sideshow that's going on out there.
Yeah, I know.
And I know most of it's moved around by Sizzle. Yeah, cool. So, really, just experiencing this with you every Friday.
Yeah,
it's
great.
Just a lot of fun, babe.
Yeah.
So you're my strawberry
And the weather
bit.
was on our side. That's another
Boom.
good strawberry bit for us. Because otherwise we would have had workers right there. You probably would have seen him in that window there.
That's right. Yeah, waving.
Yeah. Okay. My strawberry bit. Yeah. Don't know. I think all of it. It's been great. Yeah, they've all been ace questions. You were sneaky snake. You wove in little bits.
Absolutely.
All the way through like you do.
Yes.
Which was great as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I keep getting just a little bit... No, I don't keep getting, but every now and again I get distracted because I really want to read what someone says. Anyway, that's our show for today. Well, you keep typing in your strawberry bits. Go to freeneville.com.
Freeneville.com. 221 email list. Pseudo random goodness.
Join our 90-day adventure at manifestingmasterycost.com.
That's right. Half a donut a day.
Oh, and I'm going to throw one thing in here.
All right.
Because I just remembered, Hashtag strawberryvet.
Yes.
So I'm going to keep trying to
my God.
remind myself to say that. And for refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
And remember, the year is 1/12 over almost. Exactly right
I know.
now. And Triple D opens, we're going to open up the door in 2 days, but if you want to get in early, before the early birds.
Course starts mid-Feb, did you say roughly?
Mid-Feb,
Just so you guys know, it's not... Yeah, cool.
So, because we'll be setting everything up and all that stuff, and everybody will be getting all excited and oozing. Oozing.
Cool, excellent.
Oozing. Yes.
All right. So have a great day, night, weekend, and we'll be back in a few days.
That's right. And for the watch party.
Oh, at the watch party night. Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Love you guys.
Love you guys. Have a lovely day.
See you.
There, look at that one.